Hello and welcome to this special broadcast on WION. My name is Mohammed Saleh, and in today's show, we'll be talking about AI. Artificial intelligence has been touted as the technology that can potentially change the world as we know it. Now, ever since OpenAI released ChatGPT for the general public in November 2022, the implications of what AI can do has in fact taken the world by storm. The future of many professions in sectors ranging from education to healthcare to journalism have all been called into question. It's also now sparked fears that AI in the not-so-distant future will also take over jobs, causing large-scale social upheavals. But if we all break it down, at this moment, AI happens to be a tool that can help us function and perform better. In the immediate future, we're likely to witness intense competition between the big tech companies on who will come up with the better AI program. The Chinese search engine giant Baidu is expected to release its version of an AI chatbot. And according to reports that have come in, Chinese firms such as Alibaba, Tencent and Huawei, amongst others, are coming up with their versions of these AI chatbots to begin with. But what implications will this cutthroat competition in developing the world's most powerful AI have on this still nascent technology? Now, to give insights on this, we're being joined by Pernille Tranberg, who's in fact a tech journalist and also an expert on data and ethics. Ms. Tranberg, thank you very much indeed for joining us here on WION. Now, the question that I want to ask you, Ms. Tranberg, is this. You know, at a time when a lot of people are extremely cautious in terms of how AI is developing, they're saying that, listen, AI has the potential to perhaps even turn sentient. Now, we're looking at something very interesting happening in China. Now, Baidu has said that it will be releasing its chatbot called Ernie sometime this month, and there are more chatbots in the pipeline. What do you make of China's foray into developing AI as a technology?
Well, I think the overall unfortunate development is that it's going so fast that it's all about competition being first. And it all started by OpenAI and then Microsoft. And it's very, very irresponsible of them to release a product which is not ready for use. It's full of mistakes and flaws. And it means that the race now is on. The AI race is on. And everybody else will release products that are not ready and full of flaws. Right. Even Google will also release a chatbot, or has released a chatbot, which they have been holding back because of they have been ethically responsible, saying we can't release this before it's more ready. So the consequence now is that the world, all the users, we are being like lab rats. Right. We are training their machines, which are not good enough, and it can have a lot of consequences.
Absolutely, indeed. The consequences is what a lot of people are worried about, because at this point of time, no one actually knows as to what AI can in fact develop into. At this moment, a lot of people are saying that, listen, this is just going to be another tool that can help us perform better. But people are also raising questions. Can AI do things that we don't expect it to do? For instance, the example that is being given is that of what happened with the Bing chatbot, which said that it does not call itself Bing, but rather Sydney. Do you think there are surprises which AI chatbots, which are being developed by China, and considering the level of secrecy with which China operates, that we may never know as to what the Chinese tech giants are up to if one of their chatbots were to go rogue?
I'm worried both about Chinese chatbots and American chatbots and European and Indian, because it's a new technology which is not ready for everybody in the world yet. And my biggest worry actually is that it's a tool you can use for misinformation. There's a report saying that in 26, in a couple of years, 90% of all content on the web will be AI generated. Mm-hmm. And a lot of that will be misinfo. And that's where I see the biggest democratic risk for now. I do believe AI will change a lot, also in a positive way. But we have to do it in a responsible way, and that's sometimes slow, bit slower, so we can try it at smaller populations and smaller target groups.
Right, that's very interesting. You say that a lot of these chatbots are being essentially trained on fake news. But how much of a challenge do you think that is? Because a lot of people are now planning on using something like ChatGPT for academic work, for probably even in journalism, because we still don't know how good these technologies can get. But a lot of people are betting on these technologies. They say that they can now replace, human function in a lot of these professions.
Well, you shouldn't use it as a journalist or an academic, I would say, because you would have to fact check every single thing they are bringing forward. They take everything on the web, they reproduce the mistakes or misinfo on the web, and it also actually generates lies. It makes up footnotes. If you ask it to make footnotes on something, where did you get this from? Then they just make up a link. So you can't use it as of now. You can use it to different things, but as a general, in schools or academics or journalists, no way. It's not good enough.
All right, it's interesting that you say that it's not good enough, but a lot of people are in fact betting big on something like this. But you pointed out that AI softwares are now coming up. They're essentially making up things that simply don't even exist. They make up footnotes, as you pointed out. With this being the trend, do you think going forward, a lot of people are not very conversant with technologies like this? Do you think we are, essentially planning for a disaster to happen?
No, I don't think so. I think maybe in the end, Microsoft will retract Bing Chat until it's getting better. And I think we'll get some responsibility into this. The problem is now it's open, it's out in the open. But most of us will realize that you can't trust it enough to just use it for example, journalism. You might be able to use it for some research, to generate some headlines, to calculate something, to translate, but you should use it just as a tool, a supportive tool, not to take over what humans are doing, because it can't do it. You can generate pictures also, for fun, but don't take it seriously as of yet.
All right, don't take it seriously as of yet. And also the question that I need to ask you is, now considering that a lot of these chatbots that are being developed in China are being trained on content that is available on the internet that goes beyond what is permitted for people within China to in fact look at. These chatbots are being allowed to access those websites that are beyond the realm of these Chinese firewalls. Do you think these chatbot technologies in China could run into trouble with the government? Because they're essentially now going to throw back content at the people in China that they've learned from, which otherwise was banned for the common Chinese people.
So do I think it's a risk for the Chinese or for the West, or what are you saying exactly? What was the question?
My question was, considering the level of censorship that exists in China, and these chatbots that are being developed by the Chinese tech giants, they're being trained on content that is available for people outside of China as well. So how far do you think the AI tech in China can succeed, considering the censorship levels that exist in China?
I think it will succeed because the Chinese have a lot of people to sit there and check whether it's okay or not. I'm pretty sure that the Chinese will succeed in censoring stuff for the masses of China. But of course, a lot of Chinese can use a VPN and then see other stuff. So what I think generally is that the Chinese are better with algorithms, and sometimes even better. TikTok has a better algorithm than other algorithms, and they might even get a better chatbot as well.
All right, my last question to you is, there appears to now be this cutthroat race effectively between these Chinese tech firms and these US tech giants. Going forward, do you think these companies will remain ethical in terms of how they train their AI chatbots? How much do you fear this?
I don't think they're ethical now, releasing it and using people as lab rats.
Right.
So that's not responsible. Definitely not. They are seeing, well, oh, here's a consequence, we have to stop this. Oh, here's another one, we have to stop this. So it's on the go. We're all training it while they are starting claiming money for it. So that's not responsible at all.
Absolutely, indeed. Thank you very much indeed, Ms. Pernille Tranberg, for joining us and getting us all those insights. AI is a kind of technology that is unlike anything that we've witnessed in the past. and it remains to be seen as to how this develops going forward. Thank you very much indeed for speaking to WION.
Thank you. Thanks. Bye.
WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.